We got clear examples from prior shows how that's contradictory. Words have power. Some people say what you speak, you manifest. You can actually control people with your words alone. You can make people revel or riot. Get them. And you can have a whole riot. Sticks and stones. Of course you mend. Shannon mentioned it. But I could say some real nasty stuff if I know things about you that would keep you up at night. And I didn't have to lay one finger on you. But you'll never forget me. Words, they be etched in your soul. They'll be in a place where you can't heal if you don't allow it. Words can institutionalize you into a way of thinking where you drinking the juice. Bones heal. You give somebody the ability to put the right words together and they know your weaknesses, they can tear you apart. They don't have to be even in a breath's distance away from you. I digress.
I get what Kenny's saying, how he may look at or analyze some of the things people saying as a contradictory. I would argue that it's not. It's just, if they're doing that to you, then it just shows you how much respect they got. Or are they doing that to someone? It just shows how much respect they got for the people that are doing it to, if they're doing it on here. Because if I tell you, hey, look, man, I'm real respectful, you know what I'm saying? I would never say nothing disrespectful. I wouldn't cross nobody's line. You know, I want them to show me the same respect. But then you see me on episodes where I'm crossing somebody's line. And I'm constantly crossing that line. That means I don't respect that person. So it's not necessarily a contradiction. It's just more like a telltale sign. Hey, look, I don't give a shit about this motherfucker here.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. And it might be kind of brutal and hard to accept, but that's how I just look. When I listen to people talk and they say they don't want to do this to somebody else and then they do it to me, I just take that as they don't give a shit about me.
Oh, and you are within your right to feel that way. I could see the dynamic that you're putting out there. But just look at it. You've said things to people. I'm asking. You said things to an individual where you knew they were weak, and you know this thing that you would say would get them uneasy, maybe take them past words with you, but you said it anyway. It wasn't that you didn't respect them. It was you having the upper hand, not even having to put your hands on somebody, but knowing that you could say a certain thing or things that would crush somebody. You've ever been in that position?
No, I never tried to hurt. I think that's intentionally trying to hurt somebody.
Have you ever seen it play out?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've had somebody do that to me, but I try hard not to do stuff like that.
So you actually seen the power of it.
Oh yeah, man. Especially when I was in the military. I mean,
Would you
I
say
think it was a mechanism a lot of drill instructors used to kind of break us.
would you say that hit harder than a punch in the face?
Hell yeah. Especially when it comes from somebody, I think somebody had already went over that. Somebody that I hold dear to me. It is like my wife or something. She could slap me. I mean, it'd hurt. But if she said she hate me, I think that would be worse. You get what I'm saying? So I'm in full agreement about that.
Indeed.
I think I have a fundamental misunderstanding of what y'all discussing, because like death is always on the table. With violence, it's always death that's possibly on the table. So I'm equating, because the escalation of violence eventually ends in death. So I'm equating words somebody say to you versus killing them. And I'm always gonna say dying is worse than somebody saying some slick shit to you. And that don't mean that saying the slick shit ain't fucked up. It's just death is worse.
Well, I think Marcus, the difference with that is it sounds like you're probably comparing it to somebody on the street that you can just walk away from, compared to your wife saying it.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't speaking about a woman.
Yeah, there was a I don't know if any of you guys had. There's a series that comes on Showtime called Couples Therapy, and there was this one couple on there. It was a gay couple, but it was this one couple on there, and one of the guys, they in their arguments, one of the guys would bring up his mate's family, and his family essentially left him homeless at one point. So he would hit him with jabs, take punches at him about his family. And he said in therapy, he only does that because he knows that that will hurt him, you know. So even despite, I'm pretty sure that they was actually hitting on each other too. But despite that physical abuse, he knew that the only way that he will win is by inflicting this verbal pain and bringing up his family and saying whatever about it, you know, and that shit would literally have dude in tears every time he talked about it. So I think that you're twisting the two, because on the street, yeah, you can walk away all day, but if it's your child, your spouse, your mama, you know what I'm saying, then that just hits differently.
Yeah, in them scenarios, yeah. So I was answering it from the other perspective, yeah. But even so, like, say my mother said some slick shit to me, I cut her ass off until I felt like it was okay to talk back to her. I'm not about. So one thing nobody's gonna do is have the ability to cause me harm, and I stay there and take it. I'll distance myself quicker than anything you ever seen before. Like I'm not really for the we can trade back and forth insults all day,
So
meaningful
you
hurt.
agree? So you agree that the words are causing you harm?
I never said they didn't cause harm. I said which one was worse. I
Let
said
me ask Marcus, bro. Let me ask you this: would you, let's say, you get into an argument or you had disagreement with your mother, and she slap you, or she say some shit like, you know, I hate you, you ain't my son. Which one you think gonna hurt more?
probably the I hate you, like long term. The
That's
I hate you, you ain't my son.
That's what I'm saying. Because, you know, the slap don't mean nothing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like to hear somebody that you trust, love, that you expect better out of, to try and cut that deep and go that low, you'll never forget that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
So yeah.
I can,
But but like Marvin Gaye, right?
say that
His father,
again.
like Marvin Gaye, his father actually
Yeah,
killed him. That's
yeah,
still worse than that statement. Is what I'm saying.
yeah.
You
But
know
that's
why
the
he did that though,
extreme.
right?
Yeah,
All
that is
violence is
it.
all
That is
violence
the
is a
extreme.
sliding scale. It just when somebody gets sick of playing with you,
Yeah,
they
but hold on.
Marvin Gaye pulled up on his
But the
dad
reason
though.
why he high, he was high. He was trying to rob him. He was trying to
He's
steal stuff from the house. That's why he
and I
killed him.
think he hit his mom's too, Joe.
Mm.
Yeah, there has to be there has to be an escalation to that point for something like that to happen.
So I think that I'm basing it off of once violence starts, who stops it? If you engage in the violence, the only thing that really could stop it is somebody saying, "All right, I'm gonna take this L," or somebody dying.
Or you could look at it as a taking a W, the one who's stopping it, because now
Yeah,
you just prevented loss of life.
Yeah. No, I agree. It could potentially be that. But I'm saying that's on the table as opposed to somebody just talking back and forth with you.
Yeah, yeah, I've
I
done
mean,
that before.
hey, but Marcus, even on some street shit, even in I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you was in the streets and something escalated to where it was like, all right, I'll allow for me to de-escalate this situation. Let me pull Marcus, man. Hey,
All
come
the
holler at
time.
me, bro. You
Yeah,
know what
all
I'm
the
saying?
time. Yeah,
That,
yeah, all the time.
yeah, yeah. It's just a simple de-escalation. Because in most cases it can be talked down, but if you can't talk it down, then that's something completely different. But
Which is why I'm saying, you could make a whole lot of music about somebody saying all type of crazy shit about somebody, but the moment you kill somebody in their family, it's a good chance that ain't no coming back from that. That's the what I'm saying is the permanency of death. Like the shit that somebody could say with words will hurt you. I'm not saying it's not hurtful. Like hopefully I'm not making that argument. It's hurtful. It could be hurtful, extremely hurtful, and it could stick with you. In comparison to the two, I prefer words versus physical violence done to me. That's the only thing. And the only reason is because I don't think physical violence just stop at one hit. If somebody willing to engage with you, what's to stop them from going to the extreme?
Mercy.
What if they ain't got none?
Oh Lord.
But I mean, that can be said about anything though, because if words can lead to physical violence, and physical violence can lead to even more physical violence, that can be said about anything. So
I
if
just
somebody
heard
can elicit, like for instance, if I can elicit you hit me in my jaw, but I shoot you afterwards, all I'm doing is all you did was respond to my words with physical violence, and then I responded to your words with your physical violence with even worse physical violence.
Right.
It can always escalate, but that's the whole point of why we're saying that words can be just as powerful as physical abuse. Can be just as verbal abuse can be just as powerful as physical abuse, because they both can elicit dangerous outcomes.
Yeah, you definitely can listen to outcome from words. I'm not making that argument. If I juxtapose the two and I'm saying one is worse than the other, I am saying physical is worse than verbal. That's my whole argument.
Okay, so I swore I heard 10 minutes ago someone make a case for verbal being the catalyst for them being physical with somebody and saying that's the end that they would take, and they like to take that ends. As for something caused by a verbal, which elicited that person have an ideology as for, okay, so I'm gonna deal with it with my hands, or death. What the catalyst was, what? Words. And I'm pretty sure I heard that. Sat back, listened to it, took a note too. And then spun the whole block and went right back to it. I know it well. Somebody played with me when I was younger. It was words. That's one of the felonies I caught.
And imagine if the words come from someone that you can't even see. It's easy for you to say that, Marcus, when I'm the one being verbally ignorant with you, right? Because you can just, it's very easy for you to put pause. Like you can be like, all right, I'm about to put pause on this nigga. Imagine when you know you don't really have the power in that situation. Imagine if the other person knows you can't do shit about it.
You saying like, are we back to women, or are we still talking about like interactions with people?
And that's in that particular situation, I am bringing up women in this dynamic.
Okay, so you saying a woman that because she says stuff to you and you can't hit her, that she wins because you're not supposed to be hitting her? Or
no, it's the fact that it becomes abusive if they know. Because part of bullying is doing something to somebody knowing that they won't respond to you, or knowing that they can't respond to you, right? That's what we typically consider a bully. It's not somebody who goes out there like knowing, if you know somebody can't do shit about it and you know that you have the upper hand in this particular realm and you continue to use that against someone knowing that they are weak against you, that's a bully. So and a lot of the times in these verbal abusive dynamics, women tend to hold the power in that because they tend to win war of words a lot more than men do. Men, we don't have to have war of words because most of the time you can say some shit I don't like, it's gonna go upside your head. Or it don't even get there. We just, hey, we get physical. But what happens when you know that you can't do shit about it? There ain't no amount of words you're gonna say that's gonna cut as deep as what she just said to you. If you even want to say anything that cuts deep. Because oftentimes they tell you don't go back and one of the first things they tell you is don't go back and forth.
Yeah, no, I agree. So that's why I was saying, like, my whole thing would be leave these women, bro. Unless you got a kid that's like making it a situation where you got to go to therapy and try and figure that shit out for the betterment of the child, you just need to leave these women. Like, it's no reason why you don't have something that anchors you completely to that person that you sit there and continue to engage in disrespect with one another. I'm not an advocate for that.
You looking for something to apply. We just trying to figure out which one is more powerful or which one hurts the worst.
Right, and I'm saying it's still gonna be violence, because death fall under the envelope of violence. Death, that's the ultimate. There's no words more powerful than death. Once you dead, you dead.
But
yeah, but nobody. You speaking
I think
from
that's going to a different, you know what I'm saying, point though, bro. I think that's more so like, you know, we looking in a relationship aspect. Of course, yeah, she can kill you. Yeah, oh, she pull out a gun and unalive you, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we talking about just regular, would you rather have somebody, you know what I'm saying, your woman slap you? Like, or I just kind of go back to the moms, because see, my thing is it has to be somebody where you can't just leave, right? You can't just get up and, like, if it's somebody that has a personal relationship with you, you care about, you know what I mean? You feel a certain way, like even let's say it's your child, certain things they could say, you be like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So physically hitting me ain't gonna mean nothing tomorrow.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So if you got a daughter and she come to you and tell you her boyfriend said, you ain't shit, I wish I never met you, your pussy stank, having kids with you was an issue, I wish I would have married somebody else, or I wish I was dating somebody else. Or if she come to you and say, hey, daddy, he beat me up, which one is you going to be more mad about?
That's different.
Because I think that's
different because I'm looking at it. Y'all argue, he say all the stupid shit he want. He better not put his hands on you.
That's
now
the
he's gonna be
speaking from.
But that's saying to me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My thing is to her that might hurt more because she has to experience it. It doesn't hurt my feelings like that. It's fucked up, but you dealing with this sucker. Now he put his hands on you. Now I have to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? That's different. That's y'all emotional shit, but that's probably gonna hurt her more. Just like a woman I'm telling you, a woman could get slapped around and go back. But shit, some shit you could say, she might not never go back. She may never get over it.
And then also, Marcus, you have to think of it from the perspective of, like, and Law kind of put it there. I would dive deeper to say she may see both of those instances as equally violent. We hear them talk about it all the time. She may hear both of those and expect you to go upside that man's head. See, it's not about me in that point. But when she come to you and hey, daddy, you need to go handle that nigga. That nigga been talking to me crazy all week.
I'm not going.
Well, obviously you won't, because you in your mind is just words. But in her mind, she like, and think of it this way: if she don't have the words to cut him as deep, what is her first initial thing she's gonna want to do? She's gonna try to go get somebody else to put pause on him, whether it's you, her brother, the police,
right?
So in her mind, it still elicits the same type of violent response.
Right. But my thing, Sweeney, is if the words that he got her with made her have to go get somebody else to put physical, it's because one, she felt like that was the you know what I'm saying? Like she got the one up by escalating the words to violence.